Hello, my name is Dustin Vance, and this was my submission for the gummy bear lab testing osmosis and how it will react to the different solutions. So, I have this first video. I will talk over it. I've tried to fix the audio to where it can be heard through the PowerPoint, and on this, I'm not the best with technology. I'm not sure how Kaltura works, so I will talk over it as well as the video, just showing that I've done the experiment. So, here I'm showing that I have two ramekins. I took warm tap water in that one that I'm pointing at now. I used warm tap water because that would help dissolve the salt, and I wanted to have a salt-rich environment. I wanted to have as much salt as I possibly could for this experiment to test how a hypertonic solution would react with the gummy bears. And then, of course, right beside it, you can see there that I had regular tap water. I did not use distilled or anything like that. It was just regular water straight from the sink. I took a red bear and put it in the salt. I took a green bear, put it in the tap water, and then I had a clear kind of in the middle as a control to kind of gauge what was happening and see and measure the difference between them. I should have took a centimeter measurement before. I would have preferred if I would have done that, especially after the findings. But the one in the middle, they do at least have some quality control, so they should be similar in sizing to start with. And then, obviously, I show that, I have the paper to keep track of which was which. I had multiple ways to keep track of which was which, but I figured the salt versus no salt would be a good way to demonstrate it and show it. So, here's a clip during the experiment. This was a couple hours in. Some things that you can notice is, if I zoom in, it looks like the green gummy bear is starting to become a bit more clear as the water is passing through the gelatin membrane of the gummy bear due to osmosis. The water, of course, wants to go to a less water-rich environment to achieve equilibrium, and the gummy bears do not have much water in them. So in this one, it has started to cross into the membrane, looks like, and it looks like in both as well that the dye has started to slowly seep out and leach out as this osmotic change is beginning to occur. The salt, it looks like it might have swelled a little bit by this point, largely unchanged. Hard to tell at this time. So I'll zoom back out to regular sizing. And I took, I let these set for approximately 12 hours or so. I sat them up before I went to bed that night, woke up, got my son ready for the day, did some things, and then came back to them. So a bit more time had elapsed than 6 to 10 hours, which may have affected results. So here was after the experiment. You can see the control right here in the middle, unchanged. The salt, it looks like it grew a little bit. I was hoping that I would have such a hypertonic solution that it would leach what little bit of fluid was in the gummy bear out into the water and see some shrinkage. But unfortunately, it looks like I did not have enough salt in the solution to do that, because if it was such a contrast to the hypertonic solution, then of course, to reach that equilibrium, what small amount of fluid is in that red gummy bear would have crossed out. But unfortunately, it does not look like I dissolved enough salt for my desired findings. So it did grow a little bit. Some water did cross the osmotic membrane into the gummy bear. And so that's why that one grew a little bit. That's what I theorize. And then, of course, we have the no salt solution. So this was just tons and tons of water pouring across that membrane until it would reach equilibrium. I actually think that if I would have left it even longer, the gummy bear would have enlarged to a point due to such little water within the gelatin that the water probably would have dissolved the sugars and everything in the gummy bear, and eventually the gummy bear itself would dissipate. It would reach a point to where it would swell and then eventually dissolve as the solution and everything kept crossing and dissolving the inner structures. So even though I went a little bit longer, luckily that did not happen. We have some clear swelling of the green gummy bear some clear parts of it where it is so fluid rich now. The salt rich solution had slight growth, and then of course the control for reference as to what it looked like in the original. I hope these explanations have been sufficient to explain osmosis and how the hypertonic solution affected the results, and I thank you for your time.